Hello Miss, my name is Dinda Nisa, and for this project I choose the topic is communicating with student. So what is communication? What is the definition of it? So communication is the act by one or more person of sending and receiving message that are distorted by noise, have some effect, and provide some opportunity for feedback. The communication itself has two types. The first type is verbal communication. So the teacher communicate information to student by talking. That is through verbal communication. Learning, however, does not take place only through teacher talks and words. Verbal communication is a type of communication where we use spoke and written word to get our message and information across to the other person. And the second type is nonverbal communication. If the student cannot understand and communicate the meaning in verbal, communication can still be done by using nonverbal communication to make the student understand what the teacher's using gesture and expression in explaining the materials. It can help the student easier to understand the materials. Gesture and expression belong to nonverbal communication. To communicate with students, you need to get their attention. For example, with this, plan mini lecture rather than lecturing for the full class because it will make the student feel bored. The average student has an attention span of 10 to 20 minutes. For the presentation, you need to use multiple presentation techniques. Students learn in different ways. Some need to hear the ideas, others need to see things written on the board, some need to discover concept and application, while others prefer to be shown and to have the chances to practice. Communicating in a variety of ways allow you to meet the need of different learners. Understanding your student knowledge and expectation is crucial for effective teaching. It helps you anticipate their existing knowledge, identify concepts that may cause trouble, and provide meaningful example. This knowledge helps you plan right exercise and example to ensure their understanding of the concept. And you need to engage your student by create vocal variation, altering tone, pitch, rhythm, loudness, and inflection. Use pauses to capture attention and emphasize key points. Whisper or repeat points to keep the audience engaged. As experienced speakers use this tool effectively. Using body language. Be mindful of your body language during class. Whether you remain behind the podium, use your hand or keep them in your pocket, or use gestures like nods and smiles. Use your motion to emphasize the message you want to convey, such as using your hand to highlight important points or leaning towards the student to emphasize an idea. You also can use technology to communicate. Technology offers opportunities to enhance student interaction, but each option has trade-offs that must be considered based on goals and class needs. Before deciding to use technology, considering whether it will improve the quality of student learning by asking if it will enhance the learning experience. Part 2. Solving the problem. Number 1. Problem. Mr. Eliezer repeatedly had problems when leading a class discussion with his junior high school student. No matter how involved in the topic the students were, there were usually several students sitting in the back who would talk, shout out silly answer, and play with objects they had brought from home. To answer number 1 is to fix this, Mr. Eliezer needs to understand why it's happening. Maybe students are bored or seeking attention. Then he can try different solution by making class more fun, setting clear rules, and building good relationship with students. Also, involving parents and getting help with classroom management can make a big difference. With these steps, Mr. Eliezer can make his class more focused and enjoyable for everyone. Number 2. Problem. Zefano was one of the most provocative and disruptive students. Miss Giandra had ever taught. Throughout class, he continuously talked to girls and teased students sitting near him. He made inappropriate and sarcastic remarks in response to almost anything Miss Giandra said. When confronted by her, Stefano grinned charmingly and responded with exaggerated courtesy to the delight of the other student. To answer this problem, you need to address this logically. Ms. Chandra needs to understand the root cause of Stefano's behavior, which may involve seeking attention or asserting dominance. Solution may include setting clear boundaries, enforcing consequences for disruptions, and involving Stefano's parents to address underlying issues. By systematically addressing this factor, Ms. Giandra aims to restore order and create a conducive learning environment for all students. Problem number 3. Ms. Yashikila was concerned about the frequent teasing that had begun in her class. It reached the point where there was constant bickering among the students. They became so angry, began yelling, shouting, and shoving one another during class. To answer number 3, to address this issue, several key factors must be considered. Firstly, Ms. Yashikila needs to understand the root causes of the teasing and subsequent conflict, which may include underlying social dynamics, personal conflicts, or unresolved issues among the students. Secondly, she must assess the immediate safety concern and intervene to de-escalate conflicts and ensure the well-being of all students. Possibly, solution could include implementing conflicts resolution strategies, fostering open communication channels, and reinforcing classroom norms regarding respectful behavior. Additionally, involving school counselor or administrator to address deeper underlying issues and providing support to students involved in conflict may be necessary. By systematically addressing this factor and implementing targeting interventions, Ms. Yashikila aims to restore a positive and harmonious learning environment for her students.